Hi everyone. Hi, this is Dan Nolan, the managing broker of Exit Strategy Realty out here in Indiana, serving both sides of the Indiana and Illinois border more effectively because we can. But you got to do it right. And I know the big talk in Illinois right now is getting their CE together. And I know that we got a couple of months, but I thought we'd try and help you get ahead of this thing. You don't want to be behind in your business. You want to make sure that you're staying on top of it. And we're going to help you with that today. So what I'm going to do here, put that down and let's move on. We do have free CE through the Indiana Association of Realtors. When you join the board, after you get your reciprocity license or your regular business license here in Indiana, you are provided certain benefits, and a lot of them come through IAR. So we're going to take a look at what you can get, like right out of the blocks, and the help that you're going to need to start your business. Yes, of course, we're going to need the forms, and yes, we do have that in our dot loop program. You have digital ink capabilities if you're out on the road, just like in dot loop. Zip Form Plus is a really cool program. You also have access to legislators, and there is a defense fund and a legal hotline for the managing brokers for when things get sideways. But today we're going to go to RECP, which is the Real Estate Certification Program. What that actually looks like is a free program that records your needed requirements each year, and it's provided at the beginning of the year. We're going to go through some of that. So you got plenty of time to get this done. Oh, did I tell you this is free 99? Well, it's with IAR. So no matter when you joined Indiana and got your license, you're going to fall into this matrix somewhere. So depending on how long you've been an Indiana broker will dictate when your expiration date and your requirements are going to be. And they preload that for you. But if you take your CE all 3 years, hello, everyone. Hi, this is Dan Nolan, your managing broker of Exit Strategy Realty out here in Indiana. Noticing that things are getting a little bit sideways in Illinois with the continuing education. It's last minute for those dual state licensed brokers. You do want to round up all your information on your continuing education and get that in by the end of April. But today we're going to look at Indiana and the benefits that come with being an Indiana broker. Now, we do offer free CE here on the Indiana side, and I'm going to show you through our member benefits package what that looks like. Just going to take a minute here. But when you do join Indiana, you'll see that we do have a couple of on-the-road and desktop help for when you're out on the road or for when you're in the office. You always have access to the IAR forms that are used all throughout Indiana, and you can also do it out on the road. You have access to lobbyists, and we have some legal publications. The Indiana hotline is pretty cool. If you ever get yourself into a jam, let me know and I can help you with that. But today we're going to look at RECP. RECP is the Real Estate Certification Program, and it comes into play with our CE and our license renewal system. It depends on when you came into Indiana and got your license on board. So anytime that you are wondering what you need to do to complete your CE, yes, you still have to do 30 hours within 2 years. If you do 12 hours your first year, it's another 12 hours the second year, you only need to do 6 more CE credits, but it has to be within 2 years. So we do have a jump on that, and it's already pre-programmed. That's the beautiful thing about this. Once you get inside the student dashboard over at RECP, you're going to get a list of all the classes you need to take towards your licensure. I'm a managing broker, so I needed to do a 4-hour credit class, and and it was provided to me, a deep dive into Indiana agency law. Something to be aware of in this hot topic kind of scenario when you're taking out buyers. You do want to have that. You don't want to be the poster child for you screwed that one up. But I did also take a look at the Indiana property taxes, assessments, bills, caps, and appeals. This will help you with your clients explain why Indiana does make sense, why our 1% cap is definitely something to consider. But again, because I did this class, I'm trying to add up why the assessments and why the cap rate is so important to notice and explain, because it does make a difference with all the states around Indiana, especially if you want to compare it against Illinois. So with that in mind, I did go back into my dashboard here, and you can go back and go through the classes. You can just take a look at the credits. You can get your scores. I mean, there's a lot of things that it will provide you. Yay, I did pass. Okay, so we can screen print that later, I'm sure. But this is what goes to the state. Always keep your certificates if you're not in Indiana, but RECP does give you a scorecard, and it does send it to the state. We are a self-reporting state, so you don't have to worry about anything other than renewing your license. Now, with the IAR package, they do have a new broker guide that's pretty cool. And there's a lot of things that you should be aware of when you first get your license before you even join into the system. But the one thing I want to point out here is what new brokers need to know about the things that grow their business. We do promoting very well how to help people who are selling their homes or was trying to sell their homes maybe find a better way. It's not just your sphere of influence, but how you handle things that are in front of you, things that make you a hunter, things that will make you a better person trying to help other people. And we're also really into safety. So if you are wondering what you can do to protect yourself out there on the road, you can go ahead and take a look at that. We have a forewarn system. If you want to know how to work this project, it is pretty cool to see that they do require you to have a license, and you can help verify the safety of the people you're meeting before you even meet them. Absolutely something I'm a fan of. Now, I'm also a fan of using Central Lock. When you go out on a showing, I'm going to get a notification that you are out there pounding the streets, and I'm going to make sure that I see the end of the closing as well. So if you're showing homes and you open a lockbox, or your lockbox is opened, I'm getting alerts just to make sure that everything is safe on your end. And that's what is going to help you get to the golden years, your years of wealth management and due diligence and the safety around this business is always going to be critical. You can always count on Exit Strategy to not just watch your back, but help you grow your business each day. If you have any questions about how to get started with Exit Strategy Realty, you can call Dan at 847 508 0652. If this is your first time even considering dual state licensing, it's a lot cheaper over here as a secondary if you're in Illinois, and it just makes sense. It's the same drive east instead of north or south, and a much more historical scenery along the way. Again, this is Dan Nolan, and I love working this business. I hope to see you in it soon. Bye now.